thank you for holding your call very immediately. The first available KIE representative will be with you shortly. Beast mode. Effective January 1st, 1978. All clocks and industrial electromechanics operations will cease. Please contact your assigned account representative for account transfers or contract settlements. Thank you for holding. Your call is very important. The first available KIE representative will be with you shortly.
Hello, people. How are we doing? We doing good? I hope so. Well, today, like every other week, is another installment of our golf challenge. And in good time, too, because I was running out of platforms to continue the challenge with, so it's great that yesterday went the way it did. That means I bought myself time by having 3 more platforms at my disposal. Let me just pour this drink out. Get the other one on deck. Yes, yes. Golf time. Time to destroy balls. Yes. Time to destroy balls and the dreams of caddies. Alright, so I managed to get... Okay, so a few weeks back, I went over the Game Boy, but I made a bit of an oopsie, there were actually 2 more games that needed to be covered. The first, both were PGA games, and the reason I didn't include them was I was searching for the word golf in the library of known games, and the cat got stuck. I turned my back and focused the window away for like 2 seconds, and the clock got stuck. Well, at least the memory leak issue got solved. That's good. Alright. Oh, and I better stop the messages. You're not on hold anymore. Alright. And one of my other devices just imploded. Excuse me. This is a spit and baling twine operation, don't you know? That should do. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. So enough stalling. Let's just swing on over. Whoosh. Most Canadian thing I've heard you say so far. What a boot. Curse you, clock. Don't ya know? Don't ya know? That's true. It's true, don't ya know? Right. So, I'd like to get the mobile platforms out of the way. So we'll go, that one should be pretty quick. We're gonna go to the Game Boy player. We're gonna load the boot disk for the player I have installed. Yeah. Alright, so for the, oh, no. Uh-oh. I have them here in the golf challenge. So we did not do the European Tour or Tour 96 of good old-fashioned Game Boy. So, let's get those sorted right away. And we'll do that, and we'll let this fire on up. Start it clean, and away we go. And we'll turn this up a bit. There. Oh, yes, I did actually listen to those today. It's kind of tough for me to make, like, an informed opinion on them, because I'm not much of a music person. But they were neat. They were neat. I did like... Actually, do I still have them loaded? I should. Aqua Drop I liked less than Karma. I liked Karma more. It seemed like something that was like really bassy and heavy, but you could also just put it in the background and do something else. Nice cruising music, that's what I'd say. Well, let's fire up a game here. We're gonna play in a tournament, because I don't know what I'm doing and it's funny that way. Human player. There we are. It's kind of just bass and fuck your ears kind of music. Yeah. Nothing hooked me in it. That's what I mean to say. There was nothing in Aqua Drop that kind of hooked me into it. Forest of Arden, Warwickshire? Actually, knowing Old English, that's probably something weird like Fredland. Does not pronounce like it looks. Valderrama, Stoto Grande, Spain. I don't think we golfed in Switzerland. Let's embarrass ourselves in Switzerland. Canon European Masters. Canon. The main part of it within 10 seconds goes from 52 Hz, half a second rise to 68 Hz, then immediately down to 40 Hz. You know why it probably bothered me? When I hear a 60 Hz tone, I think something bad just happened. Because that's... 60 Hz is your power line, and if you can hear your power line in something, something really bad just happened. Alright. Alright, so I have no idea how to play this. Unless it's just high voltage equipment. Yes. You're right. Those emit audible 60 Hz while they're working fine. Yes, and I get very stressed near them. I've had my fair share of electricity run through me. I always thought if I started getting a really hateful streak from my fellow man, most for me is 120. Well, I've gotten 120 at 60. But I've also got weird ones, like 12 volts at 100 amps. Replacing my light fixture in my room and touched both leads. Oh no. I've been cracked with 240. I got really drunk once and bitch slapped a, one of those electric fly swatters. That one was my fault. That was deliberate, I should say. Yeah, I think I've cracked my fingers on 240 before. And then, yeah, I was messing with some lead acid system, and that's like, I think it was maybe 12 or, no, the batteries were in series and parallel, so it was like 24 at something like 100 amps. That hurt too. It's just a small shock because I was on a small ladder. Just plummet to the ground, oh boy. How did... Brand new car batteries are not fun. That's why I always thought to myself, okay, since that's 12 volts upwards of 600 amps, it's rough. It's rough. That's one of the reasons I was taught if you're ever working with car batteries, you should never use a closed wrench on it. The main reason you shouldn't is if you accidentally, like, touch the chassis of the car or accidentally touch the other battery, you can't get the wrench off. Which then I thought to myself, why hasn't anyone made, like, high-impact plastic wrenches then? Oh yeah, they can also tack weld to the other end, too, so you can't get it off even if you try. Okay, the wind... Actually, it's really windy. That's what I'm goofing up. Sometimes they'll make a full circuit and just keep heating up till it melts on top of the battery. I haven't gotten it that bad before, but with some equipment I've been around, I wouldn't doubt it. Well, I've also done telecom work too, and it's actually really interesting how they power central offices. I haven't been able to even tack weld it before, thankfully. That's good. Oh, come on, that was 50%. Okay, 37 yards. Then this goes 100 yards. Finally. Feet. Power to scale. 6 feet. Right, in the PGA games, the power meter for your putt is scaled based on how far away you are from the hole, not how far you can putt. So its maximum is 10 feet for this putt, but I'm 6 feet away. That's not bad for figuring this out. Just kind of crazy that it can happen that way, since the melting point of tool steel is 1400 Celsius. Like, in some cases, I'm amazed the battery doesn't fail first. A set of tungsten tools. Wonder how much that would cost. I'd have to get 3,400. Okay, so it's 9 miles an hour. So I should actually shoot up here. That sounds about right. $30 a kilogram. Okay, so 30 bucks a kilo, and a wrench isn't really that weighty. Now, how would you machine tungsten? Because you would need to machine with something stronger than tungsten to machine tungsten. Or you'd be burning through a lot of tungsten tools, CNC diamond bits. Right. You're right. Okay, 129 yards. And they gave me a 9 iron, which goes 131. So I have to go a little bit under 100. There we go. Oh, this one's gonna be tough. Also, the reason probably we don't make high-impact plastic tools is that they're very resistant to impacts. There's no guarantee the tensile strength while applying torque. Yeah, you're right. But I'm wondering what other ways could you make an insulated wrench? Because, well, I'll put it to you like this. In electronics, there are some cases where you're working with rubber coatings, yeah. That could work for a while, I suppose. But like in some types of electronics, like analog systems, you can't tune them while the system is off. And if you're doing something like radio, you have to also be playing in the kilovolts range to do the job, like to do the transmission you need to. I think. So the solution was to make ceramic tools for tuning. So the idea was if you slipped, you'd cut a contact or nick a cable or something, but you wouldn't short it. So you can get ceramic screwdrivers. Now, a ceramic wrench would be too brittle for regular use, but if you were just, say, like putting on a battery, you don't really need a lot of force for that. And the technology in ceramics has advanced a lot. Like the lugs are lead, and the clamps are usually lead or spring metal. You're not supposed to clamp very hard anyway. You're just supposed to clamp enough that it doesn't move. So you don't damage the lug on the battery. But also, how many people are going to go buy a special, more expensive tool when they can just be careful with a normal wrench? Yeah, you're right. Why go through all that when a lot of those concerns can be solved with proper training? You know what? I'm gonna blame my bad golfing on the fact that I'm not properly equipped for the job. There we go. Hey, I got par. You and I die in a skeleton in Minecraft despite wearing full iron armor and having a shield. Just ill-equipped for the job. I need to get back on the Minecraft server. Actually, I need to update it. The server is private. It is an inherent, it is a, implicit deny with a permit list. And an obfuscated ingress point. That server I'm running is not very well equipped for many people. I think the most that could get on there is 5 before the watchdog kicks in and shuts the server down. if I had enough money, which I don't, but if money was not an object, I have a perfect idea for a Minecraft server, which is I would either ask IBM or get a retired IBM Z series mainframe and run it all from there, just for no other reason than to confuse the fuck out of people. I got this close to getting a Minecraft server running on a Sega Dreamcast because the Hitachi Super H CPU has a build of OpenJRE. Imagine having a fucking server infrastructure better than Hypixel just because you can. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. The thing that chokes Minecraft the most is disk I/O. But a mainframe is specifically built for high I/O. It's not meant to do fast computation. And they were never really built to anyway. It's just, for the longest time, businesses could rely on a mainframe more than they can rely on just like an ad hoc or custom-built data processing system. Just fine, because even the computation it can do is way more than Minecraft needs. You know what? Yeah, because the average clock, I think the Z13's clock speed is 5 gigahertz. But it's specifically engineered that if parts of it fail, you can replace the parts that have failed without shutting the mainframe down, so long as you tell it beforehand what part you're pulling. And what it's able to do is take the work that's running on that particular component and move it to a redundant one. At the same time, every action or computation you do is run on 2 or more central processors. There's no CPU. Central processors. And if one of them doesn't match the others, then it knows there's a hardware failure, and then it notifies the operator, and then you can diagnose it, all while it's still running and doing its job. But again, money. I almost bought one for $5,000 that fell off a truck. Oh, that's too hard. Oh, that's bogey. Yeah, that's still, the computational power is way more than Minecraft needs. It's, what makes Minecraft choke is it will not process, so it's either completely fucked up or perfectly fine. Oh, you mean the work you do? Like the work you do on it? Well, there's also a whole bunch of other stuff it does as well, like, oh, the one that fell off the truck. Yes. It was either completely messed up or perfectly fine, because the person who bought it, like, got his hands on it, said they don't know the condition of it because they don't have the means to start it up. Like, they just don't know how. So I was asking a friend, like, it's $5,000, and it's a Z13. Do you want to get people in and split this up? And he's like, well, what am I gonna do with it? I'm like, computer shit? Why would they even buy a machine that can't even work? The scrap metal. Basically scrap metal. They call those things big iron for a reason. Like, a lot of the time when you hear about, like, mini computers and super minis that aren't around anymore, frankly, one of the main reasons they're gone is they just the amount of metal that's in them and the amount you get back for this dead thing that's obsolete. People see dollar signs in their eyes and they tear the thing to pieces. Ooh, that reminds me. The Centurion line of mini computers just got documented, and the only known running system just got revived by Usagi Electric, which is a really neat channel. This lanky nerdy guy, and he just resuscitates old dead computers and like provides a little history lesson on them. Yeah, that's one of them. Yep. All right. A Commodore 64, hey, well, you're in luck, because as it stands, as of a few weeks ago, you can buy a new reproduction part for every single piece of a Commodore 64. The sound chips are there. The VIC-2 just got announced, and you can get reproductions of it. Let's see. I still have to solder together my 25407 reproduction board. Oh, that's bad. There is a notable delay between my input and it actually acknowledging it. An old keyboard for no reason. Well, what kind of old keyboard? Because you can get, if you want, they're just nice to type on. Are you talking like plain old cherry mechanicals, or do you mean like buckle spring? Like, what are you eyeing up? Because there is a company, actually. Sorry, stream cut for here. Well, what kind of keyboard? Yeah, like, are you looking for just good old-fashioned cherry, or do you want, like, a buckle spring? Like, what kind of keyboard are you looking for? I don't know, really. Well, if you want, like, an old-fashioned IBM, like, Model M keyboard, like the 80s style keyboard, there is a company who bought the rights, bought the mold, and has access to the patents, and makes brand new USB ones, just old ugly-ass white beige or white mechanical big keys. Okay, what is the name? New Incognito. Yeah, Unicomp. Unicomp has the molds, all of the old molds, and the molds for the keys, and all of the design documents for IBM's buckle spring keyboard. So if you're looking for an old keyboard, you can have a new old keyboard built to not the same spec in terms of weight, but all of the underlying tech is still there, and it has a USB hookup. And you can get PS2 versions too. And they sell in beige. Well, you can. It has USB as well, so they engineered it so that they can swap out the controller board, and you can either have it with a USB interface on it or a PS2. Reason I said PS2 is modern gaming motherboards have PS2 on them again. They brought it back. And it's a motherboard from 2012, yeah. I remember being a naive little fool, and when someone was telling me, you know, the universal serial bus is the future. And I went, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. All this abstraction and inefficiency, for what? This port is designed for this function, so it will be optimized for that function. I want my parallel port for my printer, and my keyboard port for my keyboard, and my mouse port for my mouse. How much of a fool I was. Because now... Excuse me. Because now, you don't need to worry about any of the electrical. Nope. Now you need a USB Type-B for your printer. Yep. But it's all USB, so, like, electrically, it's a lot simpler, and then you just solve it in software. My naivety. I also said that about the revival of the electric car. I have to be careful what I say, because, you know, stream and recording. But, I had a family... Well, not a family member. My humble opinion, the worst connector to ever come to USB. I kinda know why they did it. I don't like why, but I know why they did it. And they did it because while you can do A to A, like, the problem is you cannot connect two USB controllers together. You can't go host to host with a straight through cable. It will damage both hosts. So you have to use a special crossover cable, but it's not obvious. So they used the Type B connector to distinguish what was a host and what was a guest. And then if you needed to go host to host with USB, you could do that, but you needed a special cable. And then everyone basically agreed to not make an A to A cable unless it was for host to host communication. There we go. Boop. How is it so hot in here? Okay, so if you want to use that old keyboard for gaming, then I would not recommend the Unicomp. Buckle springs are meant for typing, not really like gaming. Now that being said, I actually use I have a Unicomp keyboard, and I use it for, like, diagnosis and troubleshooting and administration, because the way a buckle spring works, it's really... It is less likely for me to make a mistype on it, or to do double punches, or like a missed stroke with it. That's why I use it. So I would just get it for normal usage. Yeah. Like, you could use it at work to piss people off. Which I've known some keyboard enthusiasts to do. They got it for the sole purpose of irritating their peers. I'm used to shitty keyboards while gaming. I've always gamed either laptop membrane or Chinesium. Yeah. I've said it before, but I feel it's prudent to say again. Invest in your HIDs. If you're using it every day, invest in a good HID. I almost got a chip in. The typewriter style keycaps. Oh, are they little round things? That's cute. Hey, I got a birdie. The Huoge Yuso Z88. Like, there's something to be said about, like, the corners and things they sacrifice to get things in people's hands. Oh, that's adorable. That's a nice keyboard. Yeah, those aren't bad. Actually, I used, back at my previous job, that's exactly what I used. Well, not that model, but I went and bought a $60 mechanical because that was still better than what came packed with our desktop computers. Cherry Blues. Oh, so they click. Blue switches, no brand specified. Okay, so it's a Cherry clone. Like, okay, I am understandably called a basic bitch for liking Cherry. Like Cherry Corp. But the reason I like Cherry Corp is because when I talk to the engineering team, or the engineering team has to say anything to the public, it's actually the engineering team, and you can tell because they're really bad at marketing. And they're my kind of people. So, like, if I go to some place like Razer, and I'm like, I need the data sheet on this keyboard, they go, here's your marketing pamphlet. look at how this keyboard can help you pwn noobs. And I'm like, I don't care. I need the actuation point, I need the mean time between failures, I need the deactuation point, I need the materials it's made out of. Like, this is the stuff I need. And every time I ask, they're like, but our keyboard pwns noobs. I'm like, I don't fucking care. But when I go to Cherry Corp, they don't give you a marketing pamphlet, they give you the engineering documents. And I'm like, these are my kind of people. And then they tried to pivot, and they know their key switches are used in gaming keyboards. So they tried to make a gaming keyboard. The only thing that pwns noobs is my hand and my mouse. Right? And so, like, Cherry Corp knows that their key switches are used in gaming keyboards, so they're like, well, why don't we make a gaming keyboard? I hate it when companies say cringe-ass shit like that. Well, what's annoying is that it works. That's the annoying part. To me, anyway. So Cherry did try and make a gamer's keyboard. And they got their engineering team to make a gamer's keyboard by looking at what gaming keyboards are like, and then just engineering it the way Cherry does. And seeing their marketing was funny, because the best way to condense it is they're like, you are a gamer, and you don't like to, follow the pack. Fuck it, here's a data sheet. I'm like, yes. Yes, just give me a data sheet. I need the acceptable range of operating environment for my gamer keyboard. That's actually the reason I own a good mouse, but not a good keyboard, because movement, you don't need an amazing keyboard, but I absolutely need a good mouse for FPS. That's right. In most FPSs, I think the mouse is more important. A Razer Death Adder V2. I actually have a Cherry Gentix mouse. The most basic-ass thing you can get. They're like, it's just the Cherry Gentix 4K, and they're like, it's just our regular office mouse. Except we made it black, put a better sensor in it, and the scroll wheel glows red. Because gamers like glowing things. $100 to 20,000 DPI. Good God, man. It's weird it makes that doof noise when it zooms in. That always makes me think I goofed up. Okay, 45, huh? $60 American, so 75-ish. That's not bad at all. Well, also the chip shortage has been alleviated over the past year. Still not as it was, but ah, shit. Right, that's why it wasn't working. Okay, I get it. Okay, 500 yards. Oh my god, that's right on the money. Yeah, Razer's not my bag. USB audio thing with the old Razer Kraken, Razer Black Shark headphones, Razer Death Adder mouse. Yeah, Razer's not my bag. I just don't like the company, but their Linux support's not great. Yeah, so what it is the only reason we have drivers is that some folks in the open source community partly, like, started reverse engineering the product just to make drivers. So there's, like, user-land drivers for a lot of it, but at the same time, it's just like, god damn it. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's not great, because there's only so much they can do when they're stumbling through the bushes blind, if you know what I mean. What I actually want in a keyboard, the keyboard I want out of everything, the dream keyboard, that's what I mean to say. The keyboard of my dreams is a Hall Effect key switch keyboard that is a full profile, so 100% or more, 120, 150, I don't care. 200, I don't care. The more buttons, the better. And an internal memory for macros. So I can store key punch sequences in it. That's what I want. The ultimate troubleshooting keyboard. Yep. I want it so I can pull up a macro for writing an apology letter. I want a macro for an apology letter. And a macro that's just a payload. Like, it's typed out in a text file and gets renamed. I would only use it to macro stupid shit. I had a coworker at one of my older jobs, and they wouldn't approve a macro keyboard for him, but he ran the knock. So because he ran the knock, they didn't really watch him for things that he installed, because, like, macros send a zip bomb to the... That's just mean. Some poor some poor office drone is just confused every time they open the zip. Piss off the IT department a bit. But yeah, what this guy did is he macroed, he put in a piece of macro software for his keyboard. And so, like, most of his job had a macro in it in some way. Like, a status update letter, or like a status update email. Yeah, you know, fun stuff. Yep. They have a sense of humor, right? They know about the funny hoo-hoo-ha-ha pranks. Why did that happen? He says like a fool. Shove a room to its knees for fun. I almost got a chip in. It's just to pull pranks. You know, learning how to hack to, like, to be a goofball, not to commit actual crimes, yeah. Like, that is a way I've heard of some of my peers in cybersecurity learning security, was that they just wanted to do goofy shit. Goofy fun shit. Lulsec did, but without the crime. Yeah. But what was neat about Lulsec is, yes, they did break into shit. And yes, they did overstep their bounds a few times, but one of the reasons they had a leg to stand on, it wasn't a very good one, and people called them out on it justifiably, but one of the things they would do is, while they bragged about what they did, the bragging actually was the report. Like, they would say exactly how they got in. So the idea was, yeah, they did it to piss you off, but they also said exactly how they did it and how to fix it. But I think kind of where they sunk was when they stopped really doing that. They were like bratty white hat hackers. Yeah, the terms now, they don't use white hat and black hat anymore because it's surprisingly, it's very ambiguous. The terms are now red team and blue team. And here's why it's ambiguous. Oh, I got the bunker. So consider this. The Russian Federation and the United States are both trying to access a very high-profile company in each of their respective countries to get information on government contracts, and thus the color team debate has another possible opening there. Oh yeah? Like red team, but which color? Oh, sorry, red team is attack, blue team is defend. And so here's why it's ambiguous, using white hat and black hat. So let's say, sorry, which brand? Oh. Oh yes, I remember our discussion referring to that conversation we had. Yes, it just clicked. It just clicked. But yes, there's also Red Hat Linux, which is a different story. But yeah, the term for white hat and black hat, the reason they stopped using it, or it's used in like really edge cases, is white being the good guy and black being the bad guy is really subjective. So it's really hard to make objective reports with subjective information. So the example of, let's say, Russia and the United States, or Canada, are trying to, like, attack a company that has a government contract with each of those governments to get information about the government. The target government. Who's the white hat? Is it because you attacked? Because a white hat can attack too. Just means you're doing it for the good guy. But who's the good guy? That's not really clear. So because of that, they switched to saying, okay, well, good guy and bad guy don't really apply because anyone can convince themselves they're a good guy, so let's use attack and defend instead. So red team means you attack, blue team means you defend, and purple means you're a switch hitter. So instead of terms of morals, it's in terms of actions, and the morality of those actions is based on circumstance. Correct. So, like, in some cases, there's some edge cases where they'll still use white and black hat. But, yeah, generally it's not what people do anymore. So you'll sometimes hear about people called gray hat because, like, they used to do, like, criminal hacking work, and then they switched to straight and narrow stuff like a consultant firm. And so they'll sometimes use the term there because, like, generally speaking, crime is bad. with exceptions. But, yeah. Yeah, now it's red hat. Sorry, now it's red team, blue team, and purple team. Well, the interesting thing is the term hacker was kind of mutated as well. Oh, I'm not gonna make it out of the trees. So the term hacker used to be a good term, and the person who used to do it for nefarious reasons was called a cracker. But they stopped saying that because the lines started to blur, and when the press got involved, the first case of a cracker getting arrested for cracking, the press accidentally said hacker. And so then the public knew it as hacker bad. And it also has other meanings. That cracker wasn't what they went with. Well, yeah. Actually, you'll still hear, there's a few problems with that, yeah. You'll actually hear, old folks, like old computer folks, or, some maker circles, refer to hacking in the traditional sense. So, like, hardware hacks, the term life hacks comes from the old term for hacking. Oh, that's too hard. Shit. I just watched a chiropractor try and tell me to unlock my full back. Unlock it like it's some secret latent power of your body. The full power of your spine. I'm not even sure there's a full back to unlock anymore, but thanks, I guess. Unleash your inner spine. Son of a bitch. Fine, we're gonna go real hard then. This is a weird YouTube feature that must have just dropped. 1080p premium with enhanced bitrate. Well, the other thing they're trying to do as well is they're trying to catch if you're using an ad blocker. Which, good luck with that. There is a notable delay, and I don't like it. Yeah, I haven't paid for YouTube Premium. I pay Google other ways. It's too hard. Oh no. That's okay. I'll work it. With them taking every piece of my data. Those damn data brokers. You know, it's funny because I don't know if I mentioned it before, but when I tell them it's my data, they hear, ours? Okay. When you're like, no, it's mine, you go, ours? Well, thanks for sharing. No, don't thank me, don't have it. Well, oh, okay, well, we won't thank you then. "20 miles an hour winds. Oh my god. How is the guy not flopping over? Oh, that's bad. Really? When does a person topple over? Oh, that's 100, isn't it? Why am I derping this hard? Most people topple at 120. Oh, right, I'm not... Actually, no, I am chipping. Sandwich goes 60 feet. This is 56, so 100. Oh, I almost chipped it in. That would have been great. Alright. There it is. Oh, man. Perfect. Sounds good. Ah. Oh, almost. Almost did it. Hey, a birdie. Wapow. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I did not angle that appropriately, did I? Let's try that again. There. Nice. I have a strange... I have a strange urge to, on the fly, while the stream is live, change my capture device. But I think I want to do it after this golf game. But at the same time, I'm concerned if I do that, I won't have a measurable difference. Like, a way to appropriately measure the difference between video capture on my current hardware and the alternate hardware I have. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Are you ready to witness bad life choices today? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Add. Black magic device. I bought a used black magic capture card. An old thing. An old thing that came from a liquidated company somewhere in Asia, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck these cards do, but we're gonna sell them. And you're seeing in real time me dicking around. And now it's covered up. And now, we're gonna do this. We're gonna pop video out. And now it doesn't know what to do, so now we're gonna flip over. There we go. I kicked over in real time. Audio properties. Do I want to force it to mono? Can I force it to mono? That's better. Okay. We are in real time capturing the GameCube on a new capture device. Does it look better? Let's see. Now let's see if the performance is better, like response time's better. Now unfortunately, it does not de-interlace the video feed. No, it's the game. So basically what I'm doing by using this black magic card is I am bypassing a composite to RGB converter the open source scan converter, and a Flint low latency capture device. Because I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but you viewers out there and me, you're looking at the same feed I am. The same feed you're seeing with my goofy face and my hat and my golf club, that's the feed I'm looking at to play this game. It's just you're being relayed a copy. Oh, he's back. Welcome back. I'm just ranting about video capture. Some chalky milk. Well, that sounds epic. I think that's what the youngins say. It is epic. This is bussin' on God for real, for real. No cap. I just did it. I just did it. I ended as a golfing champion. Score +9. Okay, that's not as bad as +75. So Nate, you missed me rambling about video capture devices. So, actually about a month ago, I got my hands on an e-waste Black Magic capture card, like a PCI Express one you slap into the ×1 slot on your machine. I didn't use it because the problem with it is it expects normal video signals, which things like a NES and an Atari 2600 and an Amiga don't give, so it can't capture. It just doesn't know how. But the GameCube does. So I just cut over to it now to see if the latency problem, Golfer 1 is out of the tournament. I'm out of the tournament with a +9? Did nobody see my epic chip in? It was like a swish. I fucking swished. They're not gonna be like, well, he's not eligible for the tournament, but we saw that epic swish, so we're gonna let him in anyway. None of that? Actually good. Because we have to go to the next part of the challenge. Now, you know what? The Black Magic card's doing pretty well for the GameCube, but my weird stack of hardware for my regular video capture de-interlaces the video. That's unfortunate. Super Game Boy Enhanced. Load it up. So, if it's PGA Tour 96, how is it copyright 1994? Actually, I gotta make a note here. I have to make a note. Where's my golf games list? So in Game Boy, we did PGA and PGA Europe. there's no symbols either. Men's amateur tees, please. Las Vegas. I don't think we've ever golfed in Las Vegas. Start at hole 1. Las Vegas Invitational. Well, it looks like they did some improvements. That's good. I haven't been in a chat in a while. It's been so mad at me for everything. Okay, well, part of it is, like I mentioned before, now that Michisu has stepped up to the plate to be a moderator, he noticed that I've been very negligent and loose with how I handle chat and how I handle people's behavior, and I inherently trust him to do some of the moderation, and we agreed to tighten it up. So a part of it was he cleaned up a lot of things I whitelisted that I shouldn't have. And it's kind of hard to infer what's okay and what isn't, right? Because on the broadcaster side, it doesn't show you the context of the message that prompted your approval for the word. So by itself, the word gay boy is mean. Like, one word, it's kind of mean. Or it's mean-spirited. But in like an LGBTQIA+ safe space, it's fine, because pretty much everyone in there is gay, and some are femboys, so they would call themselves a gay boy, right? So this is just one of those things where, as part of like tightening it up to stop a potential harassment or hate campaign or a hate raid or something, we accidentally we're now catching things that are legitimate, normal conversation. See how things can be used. Well, they can, yes. And like, the other part is, so for example, I approved the word, so what got caught there was the word gay boy. But when I approve that word, like when I approve that message, what it does is it just makes a record saying that I approved that word by itself. It doesn't show the message that prompted it, so Michisu doesn't know why I approved it. So, like, that's one thing that when he's feeling better. Yeah, and it adds it to the allowed terms. Which means now if somebody does come in being mean, saying that kind of stuff, it is going to be permitted, and yeah. Oh, a permit once. Actually, permit once sounds like a good idea. Actually, I don't think I can make suggestions to Twitch unless I'm an affiliate. But that might be something to bring up if I ever do. A permit once. No, I've dropped no packets today. I think it's an ingest problem on your end. Oh, is it too loud? Am I too quiet? No, okay, so my microphone is just as loud. Maybe I'll turn this down a bit. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me now? Things better? On my end, I don't know if these messages are going through. I might as well type to him. Let's see if this poor guy can get back on. Oh, look at that. Crack open another drink. A nice brown ale. Alright, let's give this a whacking. Oh, that's too soon. That's gonna be bad. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Lost. Mulligan. That's my mulligan. That should do. hope the poor guy's internet didn't just die on him. He was saying yesterday during just regular old retro stuff that somebody accidentally trenched through some data lines for his neighborhood. And they clutched a solution together, but I've got a feeling that solution just croaked. Good stuff. I'm glad you're glad you're back. Yeah, when you get it stripped down, those things can boot real fast. Yeah! Although it up and failed to boot after I restarted, so I had to cut off my PSU because it wouldn't let me back out of it either. But then after a second kick, it was fine, huh? Why would that happen? You might have something intermittent. I don't know. Like... maybe an update didn't apply correctly and it reverted to a snapshot. I had to use my PSU switch because with this motherboard it doesn't work with the power button on this case. Really? Well, that's bullshit. Actually, I had a computer once I kludged together just because although I did shut down to turn it off. I did have one machine. Sometimes when you just need a computer and you've got e-waste kicking around, you do things. And I had one that I had to start it with a quarter. I knew what 2 pins had to be touched, so I just reach in there with a quarter and just twist across the 2 contacts. The proprietary Dell board out of an Optiplex 7010 within a Corsair 220T. Yeah, at that point, and they use proprietary connectors all the time. I think the latency's better, but I think it's the game, not the capture. I mean, if it does the job, man, like... that's why I really don't judge people if their computer just, like, looks like shit. If it does the job, and it's reliable, and you're not gonna get hosed if something happens, do it. As the saying goes, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. One that can't handle a TDP of 77 watts. Well, and this is the funny part, is... okay, I shouldn't say funny part. You can get away with undersizing a cooler if you know that you're not going to be using it at 100% load all the time. And this is something I wouldn't say I had an argument with someone with, but I had a little bit of a drunken, passionate discussion. Because the guy says, you don't need liquid cooling. You can just get a properly spec'd air cooler. And you're like, you're right. For most people, you don't need liquid cooling. Because here's the thing. Let's say you got a 77 watt CPU, and you smack on a 150 watt air cooler, like some big metal thing. I get it pretty up there usually. Well, knowing the kind of stuff you're doing and telling me you're doing, you're still, like, on the front of the curve when it comes to, like, how people use computers. But, like, let's say you have a 77 watt CPU, and you slap on a 150 watt cooler, like some big old slab of metal with fins on it and a big ass fan. That means you can put the system up to 100% load, and all the time, you'll be within a safe range, like a safe temperature range. That's fine. But one thing that you can do as well is, if you know that you're not using the system at 100% load all the time, you can smack one on that's too small and bank on the fact that if your system goes under a load spike, the heatsink will absorb enough heat for enough time for you to finish your job. And that's actually what I have on my workbench. I smacked an entire, I'm talking 32 gigs of RAM, a Ryzen 7 with a built-in GPU, I think some rated NVMe disks, and an SSD into a reproduction Commodore 64 case. Is 100 Fahrenheit. So about 40 Celsius-ish. So that's not bad. That's actually not bad. 41 Celsius. Yeah, that's really not bad. But like, let's say you got a 77 watt CPU and you've got a cooler that cools to 50, but your CPU is always at like 10% load when you use it. Well, that means it's probably gonna only be dumping like 10 watts-ish. So if it's only dumping 10 watts and the cooler's rated for 50, then you're fine. So let's say what happens for 10 minutes. Yeah, let's say for 10 minutes you then spiked the compute load up. Well, it doesn't just immediately heat up. What it does is it starts to heat up, but because the CPU cooler's rated for 50, it's gonna absorb 50 watts of energy until it can't dissipate enough. And then your CPU starts to build up the heat. So sometimes, and this is what laptop manufacturers do, they'll undersize the cooler because they know you're not going to have it at 100% all the time. And for that little spike, your cooler can take the hit for a few minutes at least. That's how I got a whole desktop into a Commodore 64 case on my workbench. Because it's also the keyboard. And I didn't want a computer on the floor, because I hate it when I put computers on the floor. Borde. I cannot roll my R's. I have a hole in the roof of my mouth, so where you're supposed to put your tongue to roll, it just doesn't work. It also doesn't help that I'm a little buzzed trying to discuss this stuff. And I'm already a scramble head to begin with. My memory's more random access than DDR. Oh, you did, hey? Do tell. just ripped out of their fucking minds. And they, like, play the plot out as if it's in a gym. They even made Dobby ripped. Making fun of people being high is a strangely funny thing. When I was, I remember something called Sesame Street. And it was just Big Bird and Kermit being stoned out of their gourds. Oh, ripped is in... Okay. Sorry, I was thinking high. Not... Oh, okay, I get the joke now. Harry Spotter, because he spots you as you lift. Okay, I get it. Took me a minute. Neville Strongbottom. I did it again! I can just chip right into the hole. That was a fucking swish. I actually don't know who Neville Longbottom is. Also, I didn't know I need Tom Felton being super ripped in my life, but I do now. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know very much about Harry Potter. When I was pressured into reading the books, and I read like 1 or 2, and I'm like, this isn't my bag. I was dragged to the movies, and I'm like, yeah. So, like, I know of some of the names you mentioned, but that's about all I know. And I know that Dobby is a weird homunculus thing. I respect your opinion, but you're incorrect. I'll put it to you like this. It's funny how Hagrid doesn't change in it either. Now, I know that guy. I know that guy. That was almost a chip-in again. I can't be the perfect golfer. That'll destroy my reputation as a bad one. link the videos to you if you want to watch them. Funnier if you're a Harry Potter fan, though. I might pass on the Harry Potter ones, though. Thanks, though. I almost did a swish again, oh my god. And... I might need to buy another two-way RCA switch. I didn't think I'd have to do nested banking and switching, but here we are. I saw an interesting article the other day. There is a company in Sweden who has... Actually, when we were talking about cars yesterday, Nate, and we were talking about... we were talking about, like, the cost of manufacture for automobiles and, like, the flat rate of tooling and all that. Well... I think I brought up a point that that's where the advent of SUVs and like their prominence came from, is that you just build a big car, charge more money for the big car, but the cost of tooling is the same as if you had made a compact or a sedan. Well, there's a company in Sweden who's continuing some research and development from, I think, the guy who made the McLaren. And they have made a car that doesn't use that modern tooling. Instead, they've managed to make this car in such a way that you can ship it as a flat pack overseas. And because of the cheaper tooling and the way it's assembled and the way it's held together, it's basically a quadricycle you can get your hands on for 8,000, I think 8,000 francs. And they're seeing if it's feasible to get these type of quadricycles into North America, because you can ship 200 of them in a flat pack, and just your manufacturing plant is just an assembly facility. And that's them doing low volume as well. Because of, industrialization, your cost per unit goes down as your number of units you make per day goes up. So this company is stating that if they can get to large-scale manufacturing and global distribution, it might even get cheaper than 9,000 US. Which means things like, was it Mitsubishi? Mitsubishi used to sell a $9,000 car. It was a 3-cylinder that had, like, nothing in it. It was just a lunchbox with a 3-cylinder engine in it. So it's like, you might be able to get a nice little quadricycle to bomb around town in. And it's electric. it's an electric, flat-packed quadricycle. So the cost of shipping it is cheap, because they said they could fit 200 of them in a sea can. Because they're just sheets of special composite material. They didn't get into much more detail than that. God. Now that I have alcohol in me, I'm feeling my civic duty to speak to my elected representative about vehicle legislation. The masculine urge to speak to your elected representative about repealing protectionist automobile laws in Canada. Get drunk, do politics. See, like, here's the thing, I wouldn't call myself a political man, because I find that politics is just riddled with skullduggery, and I have I'm hypersensitive to that stuff. I just can't stand it, because I have been on the receiving end of it for too goddamn long. But at the same time, I mean, I have my own ideas on what should be done. Doesn't mean they're right. Doesn't mean I should actually state my opinions. I think there's a time and a place. I hate overly political people. And the other thing is the nuance of why they're in politics. Who base their entire personality and living off of it. Yeah, it can be... I find that it gets really for me, politics can get overwhelming and tiresome, and what you basically have at the end of the day is two people who aren't qualified to talk about it, and it just deteriorates into showmanship instead of, you know, actually what it should be. And I'm saying this knowing people who, and I didn't know this, did you know you can get a doctorate in public policy? Did you know that's a thing? Like, it sounds like a bullshit job, but that is an actual important job, is public policy. Like, and I'm like, okay, so what does that actually entail? And they were like, the name is misleading. So part of public policy is you have to know psychology, you have to know human history, you have to know culture, and you have to know about different cultures, and all of those things weighed together, along with, you know, current events, are what form the policies you have. So Americans make fun of Britain's TV licenses, for example. So on the surface, it sounds pretty crazy. You know about the TV licenses, I bet. Yeah, so there's a reason they exist, and there's a reason it's particularly important in the United Kingdom. Because they came from kings. Monarchs, the monarchy, nobility, and the serfs, or the peasants. Up into the 50s, there was still a peasant class, and they were even still called peasants. From what I was... Again, I'm hearing this secondhand from this person I was talking to. But there was still the class of peasants. Then the TV became a thing. Well, TVs in the 50s were pretty expensive, and the average income of a British person in the peasant class was still really low. But the idea was to make the television a public service. So the lower class protested the way British people do, And they said it's not fair that the working class or the peasant class has to pay for the nobleman's television. Because at that point, the only person who can afford it is the monarchy, and the upper class. So that's where the TV license came from, is they said, okay, well, how we're going to be able to distinguish who has a television and who doesn't is, instead of putting it into our taxes, we're going to put a provision in that you have to pay, to use your television. So then that way, the working class who may not have televisions don't have to pay for another person's viewing of things on TV. And it's stuck. So now it's just television licenses are a thing. So the BBC, for example, is funded off TV license fees, not really tax dollars. And like, you wouldn't see this in another country because the history of that country would not have led them to that point. So the whole point of public policy is learning what the history of a country is and how policies that seem insane to you are perfectly sane in that environment. It's kind of neat. Well, I think it's neat. Well, at the same time, you're right to not think about it because just one of those things that existed but never spared much thought. And that's exactly it, right? The average person doesn't think about it, and it's kinda... Okay, I shouldn't say it's none of their business, but because it both is and is not. It's about as much of their business as looking at a tree, in my opinion. But some don't think about it, don't want to think about it, and they have other things in their life that are more important than figuring out why British people have TV licenses. But it's not that it's not important, it's just that it's not important to you at that exact moment. So it's kind of neat that there is somebody whose job is to do this. That's kind of bad shit bonkers. That'll do. Wapow! Oh no. Yeesh. Do I get a mulligan? I get a mulligan. Okay. So the wind is strong-ish. I was quite a few times. There's a particular political party that calls me and keeps asking for money. And I haven't really, but they always try and start it with, what do you think needs to change in this country? And I say, I think we need to change the laws we have in place for automobile imports. Because in Canada, we have something called the Motor Vehicle Safety Act. But one of the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Safety Act disallows cars of a certain age to be imported. So basically, you can't import new cars into Canada. Like, even if they, like, meet the safety requirements. And it's a little protectionist because we have our own car plants here. But the problem is, a lot of the cars that we should be importing to deal with the climate emergency, like quadricycles, electric quadricycles, or... Ooh, I got chipped in, but it's a bogey. Or, like, there's a company in Sweden that makes an electric car where the entire, like, upward-facing surfaces are curved solar panels. So that not only is it an electric, but it self-charges when parked outside, and it reduces load on the electrical grid, which means that some of our cities that are still powered on coal could still have electric cars in them. But we can't import them because this Safety Act has protectionist measures in it instead of safety measures in it. Then some of the safety rules are very silly, in my opinion. Like, here's one, for example. You can't build a car and sell it in Canada if it does not have electric remote locking. So if you don't implement remote locking and remote unlocking, you can't sell the car. Sure, things like seatbelts make sense. They should have seatbelts and airbags. But if you're trying to make like a Spartan affordable electric car that anyone can have to replace the thing they just bombed to work in like 100 kilometers away. Well, not 100 kilometers away, 50 kilometers away. Maybe relaxing the little, like, nitpicks would help. Oh well, what do I know? I'm just a buzzed nerd. Alright, so if it's 15 miles an hour wind, I should put it here. And overdrive a tad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Let's putt here. Perfect. Ah, shit. Not quite. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but if I just stop talking mid-conversation, chances are I just start doing something else to recuperate my attention. I have trouble staying on one task. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Do keep in mind, lurking is the default. I don't expect conversation. And like if a stream goes the whole time silent, my feelings won't be hurt. You should always take care of you before me. Even if you're like, I don't want to talk right now, I'd be fine. As a matter of fact, I'd be disappointed if you weren't prioritizing your own well-being. We had Mother's Day today, so if anybody's in... I think the US and Canada share the same Mother's Day. But, for anyone out there, it's Mother's Day right now, and if your mother's still around, call her. We do, yeah. Hopefully you got up to good stuff for Mother's Day. I ignore it each year. Family doesn't do much for it, eh? Well, some don't. My mother starts acting like a mother, she can have Mother's Day. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I hit a sore spot. I'm sorry. That's me and Father's Day. Actually, no, me and Father's Day is... Me and Father's Day is... I'll put it to you this way. Some dads are dads, some dads are sperm donors. I don't mind getting deeper in conversations. I mean, so long as you're comfortable with it. Just don't say anything too sensitive, okay? Because remember, this is a public setting. Even if we are having a direct conversation with each other. And us autistic persons, we've gotten that a few times. Yeah, same here. Us autistic persons tend to overshare. That's one thing I've learned. Well, one of the advantages I've found is people do find me a bit approachable because I'm willing to go into subject matter that most people keep really close to their chest. I'm kind of an open book that way, and it does put people at ease. Online, it's fine. Nobody actually knows me, so my autistic tendencies don't make much of a ruckus, but IRL people know me. Yeah, it's true. Or it's like you share something too sensitive that you're really supposed to have shared with damn you Asperger's syndrome. Since we're on the concept of oversharing and whatnot, I love being neurodivergent, but fuck, you're annoying sometimes. Well, it's funny, since we're on the subject of oversharing, way back in the day, They used to, when autism and ADHD and ADD were a binary diagnoses because we didn't understand enough about neurology at the time. My parents thought there was something wrong with me, so they took me for an assessment. And according to my mother, the doctor came back with, quote, "I don't know what this is, but it's not autism. Good luck." Then, after further, like, research into neurology and brain development, they realized that autism and ADD are a spectrum. He said, "I don't now pay up." Well, yeah, more or less. Or in his case, it's that he got paid either way because he's a Canadian doctor. But, free healthcare. Free-ish. Must be nice. It is nice, but we're getting some scares. Since we were on the subject of politics, let me tell you some things about a particular province in the Federation of Canada. Yes, we are actually a federation. We just don't state the federation part. But all of our founding documents say we're a federation. A particular province in the Federation of Canada has had a conservative stranglehold for about over half a century. And they were doing such a piss poor job that finally, like, after 60 or 70 years, a very hyper-progressive government came in, and they panicked. And so what happened was all of the conservative sects unified and made their own party, and then basically seized control back. And one of their platforms is to dismantle free healthcare and make it and Americanize it. So yeah, every waking moment I am in a state of panic. I sure don't look it, because I have old video game golf and alcohol. It is, I gotta admit though, it is nice. I do recommend to people heavily, if you've got nothing really at home, so basically they took the good government ideas of progression and said, let's not do that, fuck progress. Well, part of it is, conservatives, and again, I'm gonna be careful what I say because politics, but conservatives are generally beholden to corporate interests, and, most corporate interests become malicious interests, and malicious corporate interests, do things like dismantling support systems in exchange for paid systems. But yes, they took all the good things that help people and want to replace them with paid services. Actually, it's funny, I don't think I'm you know, am I? No, I'm not identifying myself. I applied for a cybersecurity position at a power grid for a power company. And one of their screening questions is, what is one of the biggest security threats to power grids today? And I said neo-Nazis. And they're like, can you elaborate? And I'm like, yeah, the FBI in the United States just narrowly thwarted an attack on Maryland. They were trying to knock out the entire grid. They're like, well, why does that apply to us? It's like, Americans and Canadians share a lot of policies. And a lot of people. I don't think I'm getting the job. Well, the other thing is, Canada has to share a lot of policies with... I like how the song gets more dire the more I fuck it up. We have to share a lot of, like, values and methods with the United States because we're such a tight trade partner. But, actually, there is a funny... Well, funny as in sad story. And... Ooh, this is a short one. About Target in Canada. I don't know if you know this, but Target tried to expand into Canada. And, they fell on their face. It was an embarrassment. And, funny as in misfortune, Schadenfreude. As in misfortune, Schadenfreude, my good friend. Yes, indeed. So here's... It was funny because I spoke to a fella, and he didn't actually work at Target, but he knew people who did, and he's actually a high flyer that I respect, as opposed to all the high flyers who fucked my life over. And he talked about why Target failed. And yeah, Target failed partly because their salespeople were being really, really, like... You know the stereotype that Canadians are polite? Well, we have a way of talking, and if you don't talk that way, it's kind of rude. And the Americans that they assigned to support the Canadian side didn't know the Canadian rules of decorum, so they were viewed as rude. And one of them went on public television. So imagine being rude to Canadians on public television as an American company. So that hurt them. That was one. But the other one was that all of the systems and mechanisms in place Target had that were so powerful and made them so successful, like the degree in which they computerized and had their products and service, intercompany services and interactions, like that they had whittled down to a science, didn't work in Canada. Oh, I fucked that up. Oh, I fucked that up so bad. Oh, that's not water, that's grass. Okay, we're fine. One of them was, they had an advanced computerized inventory system that, what it would do is you had to input, kind of reminds me of Dasani in the UK. I'll have to hear about the Dasani one after. For Target, it was so advanced and computerized that you had to input your floor plan, your shelves in the floor plan, the amount of tiers you had in the shelf, and the model and total, in the American system anyway, the square inches of shelf space you had. And all that data would be in real time tracked, and that would be used to determine what products could be purchased, where in the store they were to be held, how to stock it, and how frequently to restock it based on purchases a day. That system didn't work when they moved to Canada, because they learned some hard things about Canada. So, Canada is not a melting pot culture, they call it a mosaic culture. So, there's a minute difference. The minute difference is, yes, you are expected to to integrate into Canadian society, but instead of this idea that in exchange for integrating, some of your culture gets to stay, in Canada, they expect you to keep your culture as it is, and the mixture of all the different people preserving their cultures makes the new one. What this means is that we have both imperial and metric happening at the same time, and each Canadian needs to know the difference between the two and convert in real time. Target didn't know that, so they just had their system reprogrammed to metric, and they went live with it. And the first few months, they couldn't stock anything because they didn't understand that we use both metric and imperial up here, and different manufacturers of different products will use different units of measurement. And so the whole system that made them powerful in in the United States, doesn't work in Canada. Because at any moment, any manufacturer could give any unit of measurement, and the software that they use for tracking and stocking and restocking can't flip in real time. It is just a fantastic comedic failure, and there was nothing they could do about it. That was just one of the many problems. Oh yes, tell me about the Dasani thing. Oh no. Which in America means energy, but in the UK it means semen. Yup. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna give this a reset, and you know what we're gonna do? I think now it's a good time. Yeah, so yeah, nobody bought their water, the business collapsed in their UK sector, and they never tried again. As they shouldn't. Alright. So, I need to use the bathroom real fast, but this is a perfect time, because we're at around 2 hours-ish, to get up and stretch and move around and make sure blood clots don't form in your legs so they don't hit your brain, because that would be bad. So I'm gonna get the background music going. And we're gonna put you on standby for a minute. But yes, do make sure you take care of yourself. We'll go for about 5-ish minutes, I think. Or 10, I don't know. Shouldn't be that long, I don't think. Anywho. Fine, I'll walk around for a second. Yeah, you go be healthy. You go be healthy. Anywho, be back shortly. There we go. I think that's 5-ish minutes. I didn't put on a timer. I should have put on a timer. Anyway. Alright, so that was the 2 games I missed in the Game Boy part of the challenge. So I'm gonna just check those off on the list. Alright. So now for Game Boy Color. We have a few. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Alright. Let's do... You know what? Let's get the really difficult one. Actually, you know what? We got 2 hours, 45 minutes. I'm not going to count the 15 minute, not like 5-ish minutes. You know what? Let's try hole-in-one golf. Not serious fun. Alright, let's try hole-in-one. New game. And we'll go tour. Jesus. I don't know, that guy looks like he's just gonna steal all my precious jewels. We'll just call him player, I guess. Tokyo, Arizona, or Hawaii? I don't think we've golfed in Tokyo before. Maybe a little bit lower. That'll do. Well, I hate that. Uh-oh, what do you hate? I left my room and everything was fine. I came back and something was different. You're like, how did this happen? What have they done? While I was gone, somehow my portable AC exhaust vent was ripped out of my window. It's clipped in. The clips weren't broken or anything either. Oh boy. That's some spooky shit going on there. Good news is I have Blue Bunny mint chip ice cream, so if I get possessed tonight, at least I spent my last moments doing something I love. That is a good way to die. Also makes it scary as my mom texted me right before I left my room asking, "Were you tapping on my door just now?" Somebody's being a goofy goober. The boogeyman's just being a goofy goober. Ah, shit. I'm glad you have the confidence to chokeslam the boogeyman. I'm a weenie. Oh, get, man. How dare. Can't let the paranormal assert dominance. You execute the boogeyman as an example to the others. I like how it just does an itty-bitty stutter when it tells you it's on the fairway. It's just for a fraction of a second. What I don't like is that after every swing, it restarts the song. That I do not like. That makes me very sad. And I think that's going to be very annoying after the 18th hole. A bow in your room with no arrows. That's right, no arrows at all. Alright, 110 yards. I'm 100 Doesn't actually tell me how far away I am from the hole, does it? Oh, 74 yards. Does it have to restart the fucking song, though? You know, out of all of the central processing units, which is funny considering they aren't illegal in any capacity in the US. Well, like, it was to my understanding as well that this is the same reason, like, muskets aren't considered a firearm in the US. Because they don't really consider it a gun. Because, like, if you try to get into a gunfight with, like, the cops in the US, you're gonna have a really hard go trying to take them down when you're trying to stuff the fucking musket with gunpowder and a slug. I mean, if you get good at it, you can load a cap and ball in about 10 seconds. An automatic musket. Well, yeah, it's just a little... It's... Considering it's just a .50 caliber steel ball, it is a literal hand cannon. It uses the same gunpowder as a cannon, doesn't it? Some use black powder, some use smokeless. Probably one of the only few times on Earth. One of the few times that hand cannon is actually accurate. Because, did they ever make... None use actual gunpowder. Ah. Kind of funny considering gunpowder was discovered by the Chinese during the late Tang Dynasty in the 9th century AD. That I did not know, but you would think they would use that first. Well, you know, I guess hindsight bias, right? Why would a person in the 17th century really know about the goings-on and the inventions of China in the 9th century when China was isolationist until I think it was the 18th century? I can't remember, but I know for the longest time China deliberately closed themselves off to the rest of the world. So I don't know if anyone actually knew of Chinese gunpowder, but again, I'm not a historian. I have no idea. I'm probably just talking out my ass. You know what? Yeah, I'm talking out my ass. I'll admit it. I'm stupid. I'm a professional doofus. Isolationism, the government equivalent of ignorance is bliss. Skipped out again. is this? Come on. Alongside gunpowder, ancient China also invented paper-making, printing, and the compass. Nobody can say that China contributed nothing to the modern day. I'll tell you that much. That's just the 4 great inventions about China. Let's hear the other ones. I gots to know. What the hell is that? But what? You just... Anyway. Alright, 68 yards, sandwich goes 70. I can't believe this shit, man. I always skip out of this fucking hole. Thank you. How's that OB? That's deep rough. How dare. Movable type printing. Alcohol. Mechanical clocks. Tea. Silk. Umbrellas. Acupuncture. Iron smelting. Porcelain. Earthquake detector. Rockets. Bronze. The kite. The seed drill. Row crop farming, toothbrushes, and paper money. Well, shit. Those are some damn good things. Who's Caprice? What the hell is this? What is this furry golf game? I don't know, but that crow dresses better than I ever will. And throw a bird out of nowhere. Okay, you should have seen the anthropomorphic tornado that came in the last hole. Okay, 160 yards, 159. Wapow! Oh my god. Why is it? Oh. Come on. That was still a triple bogey, though. Wapow. Oh no. Oh no. Ah, still in the rough. Okay. So the hole is 12 yards away. The sand wedge goes 70. No, 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 no. Ah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah? Do tell. Classical Latin orchestral music. I've never heard of Latin orchestral music. I appear to have thrown the game into an ambiguous state, and I cannot... Oh dear. Can somebody confirm what hole I was on? I think the game just imploded. Yeah, it is. It is not okay. I think what it is I hit A too soon and it's racing. Nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Can I reset from here? Timer? No. Restart. There we go. Oh, thank God there's a continue. If you want to hear the classical Latin thing, I can send you the link. Yeah, let's hear it. Oh my god, it happened again. Now, I am gonna listen to it off stream so I don't get a copyright walloping upside the head, but I will listen to it. I trust your music recommendations. No, Henry, you fool! Why did you know? Why, you foolish fool that is foolish. No! Angry. They always say I have amazing musical taste, but I just listen to what sounds good. That sounds like... Have you ever, like, accidentally humble bragged really hard? Because that's what that sounded like. No disrespect. Because, like, sometimes a humble... Oh. Sometimes a humble brag is justified, but... I accidentally humble brag almost constantly. You know, speaking of good music, there's an old friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him in years. Not supposed to be a brag, just weird pattern I've noticed. And, like, since I don't personally think my musical taste is anything special, oh, that's fine. Whenever a situation like that happens, I'm reminded of George Carlin. As he said, imagine the average person. The average person is really fucking stupid. But remember, that's average, which means that 50% of them are stupider than that. And that kind of, it's mean, but it applies to a lot of things. Where if your say, skills in a particular subject matter are slightly above others, it can be kind of baffling hearing somebody who isn't trained at all. But just, it's important to identify that it's not that they're inferior, it's not that they're stupid or less than, it's just that they focus their efforts and resources into something else that you don't know about. But since we're talking about music, a really good band that I actually went to a concert to with an old friend of mine from, like, I think it was 5 years ago. Actually, there's a story to this. Actually, I'll get to the story first. So, I had a friend who really liked to go out drinking, but he came to an epiphany. His epiphany was that he didn't like to go out drinking because he liked to get drunk, and he didn't go out drinking because he liked the taste. He went out drinking because he liked the atmosphere and the entertainment. And I don't mean being entertained by your friends being drunk assholes. I mean the bands, the shows on stage, the football game that was on. It's just being in an environment with a bunch of people who are just as happy as you are, enjoying some form of entertainment while having drinks just made him really happy, and also got him out of the house. And because of that, he started inviting me out to special events where there was drinking. And then after a while, he started cutting back on drinking because he realized the entertainment was more to him than the alcohol, which is great, and that's actually a very healthy thing. So he took me to a concert, and listen, I may not like my dad very much, but there's some skills I learned through osmosis, and one of them comes out when I'm drunk, which is PI work. And one of the skills of PI work is social engineering. And I accidentally social engineered us into the most VIP area you could get at this bar. And how I did it was I'm dressed for a night out as I normally do. I've got a nice suit on, I've got a Homburg on, I've got a good tie on, sometimes a nice sharp-looking high-contrast vest on, and I saw a bunch of people going up and down a flight of stairs, and I said to my buds while half-corked, "Hey everybody, there's some better seats up there," and I barge right up to the stairs, I look at the bouncer, I give him a stern-faced nod. He nods back, and I bolt up. And the bouncer stops my friends, and I say to the bouncer, no, that was me. We've been here for a while now. And we've been here for a while now meant we've been at the bar for a while. Not as in he thought we were ruffians, but really he was trying to stop people who weren't VIP. So I accidentally social engineered our way into the VIP area, which had its own private bathroom and private tables, and we accidentally got to meet the premier of our province while listening to one of the coolest bands I know of now, 5 Alarm Funk. And it was great, and I had a great time. So yeah, that's how I accidentally social engineered us into a VIP seat. And 5 Alarm Funk is a great band. And their stage what should I say? Their stage presence is pretty great. In one case, they got an inflatable shark and they treated it like a bazooka and started shooting random people in the audience. And similar to how in clowning you can kind of direct people on what to do based on your goofy actions, they actually trained people when they got shot by the inflatable shark acting as a bazooka, that they would just fall to the ground. They were great. They were a great time. And if I were to recommend a song from 5 Alarm Funk, I'd say the first song you should listen to is either Wash Your Face or Widowmaker. Actually, you know what? Widowmaker first, then Wash Your Face. But I can't play them here because I don't want copyright stuff. There's apparently some fancy audio tracking and shit I can do, where like during a broadcast, there's an audio track that plays to live viewers, but when the VOD comes in, that audio track isn't there, but I don't want to do that. I don't think that's more trouble than it's worth, and it causes confusion, in my opinion. You son of a bitch. Oh my god, this fucking tree. So I don't know how I'm gonna get around this tree. Oh, it did let me go around the tree. No. I gotta call my insurance provider. I just got fucking robbed. You know what? I'm gonna do the stupid, irresponsible thing. There are a lot of members of that band, too. I think it's a 6 or 7 piece band. You're a solid neutral, and I respect that. I listen to Widowmaker if I need to be jazzed up, but I don't need to be angry. So, like, if I need to get jazzed up to do shit, but I need to be, like, feeling fucking epic, I listen to Widowmaker in the car. If I need to go somewhere fast, I listen to Eurobeat in the car. And if I need to be mad and like, yell at a vendor for being abusive to one of my subordinates at my previous jobs, I listen to metal. Could be that I'm conditioned towards heavy shit. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. In that case, you would like Diablo Swing Orchestra. And I would recommend Voodoo Mon Amour. I have a lot of death metal CDs in my truck. I actually listened to Motorhead live. In their, like, when Lemmy was dying, basically. Where they were like, we kind of want to do a tour, but Lemmy's gonna die. That was actually a great experience. I have one for Korn, one for To the Grave, and one for Motionless in White. Oh my god. I keep getting so close. Did I ever say my story about going to Motorhead at the local pub? So when Motorhead was in its twilight years, they stopped doing big venues and they started doing small bars. And I might be revealing too much information, but fuck it, if other VTubers in town can do it, so can I. So they went to Ed's Bar in West Edmonton Mall, which reveals that I'm in Edmonton. But fuck it, if other VTubers can say that, so can I. So, Ed's Bar is named that way after an old premier, Ed Stelmach. But anyway, Edmonton isn't a super small place. Yeah. And West Edmonton Mall is still considered one of the world's largest malls. So, Ed's Bar is pretty small. It's like, it fits, it can sit, I know a few streamers from there. Oh yeah? I mean, I know, Canadian Dragon. Honestly, for a VTuber, I don't really network with other VTubers. For a VTuber. I see. You know, honestly, for a VTuber myself, I don't network with other VTubers. I'm in an interesting position. I don't fit in anywhere, which means I can navigate anywhere, because everywhere I go, it's the same thing. They're like, who the fuck are you? So, anyway. Ed's Bar. Motorhead's playing. One of his emotes. Pizza. Aw, that's nice. So, we're at Ed's Bar, and it's me and my sister. And, you know how you're supposed to dress for a metalhead concert? Well, that's not how we dress. She dressed in a cocktail dress, I dressed in a three-piece. The most colorful thing you can think of. Why? Because fuck you, we felt like it, that's why. What happened was, we got in, we grabbed a table, we settled down, Motorhead starts playing, and my sister elbows me and she goes, Henry, we need beer. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we do need a beer. And so I, very nervously, wander up to the bar, and I say, I need 2 pints of... What the fuck? Okay, so it is in between the... If you get in between the signposts, you get... you get some kind of assistant to your golf game. Anyway, so I go order 2 pints of beer. This one guy, he comes in. You know when I talked about an IBM Z13 mainframe? This guy is as big as one, and he saunters on in, puts his big fucking elbows on the table, it goes thump! And one of the pint glasses topples over, all over the bar, and he just looks at me and he goes, "Is that yours, little man?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir." "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna get you another." No, it's fine. And he goes, "No! It was wrong." Like, this would have never happened at a country concert. At a country concert, the guy would have knocked my beer over and then punched me in the face for getting his elbow wet. Anyway, metalheads are great people. I like metalheads. Yep. But yeah, that was a Motorhead concert. And I don't regret going. That was a great time. Everyone was super sweet. That mosh pit though, oh my god, I think somebody got a concussion. Until, is that yours, little man? Yep. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you're being responsible. You get yourself to sleep. But thanks for the good conversations. Responsible, I wish. I don't expect you to do it all the time, I just expect you to try. That's like I'm saying I'm gonna get ready for bed. Preparing for it, I'll probably be asleep by 1 a.m. You know, I feel you. Somewhat by choice, somewhat by insomnia. I'll tell you this. Actually, you know what? I thought I had a thought in my head, but it just fleeted. Never mind. Thank God for ASMR, though. It helps a lot. ASMR helps for you? I find it just bothers me. I'm like an old man. I'm like, speak up! I can't fucking hear you. Rrr. ASMR based on situations more than I do just sounds, though. You know, for the longest time... Actually, I better not engage in more conversations, because it's just gonna hold you up. But, long story short, there used to be a guy called, there used to be an account called Peculiar ASMR that used to follow me all the time when I was on hold. Which means that I have a stinking hunch to take the data processing department's sounds and package them into a video and call it, I don't know, sounds to relax and question your bad life choices to. Well, he's right, it is peculiar. I have an alien helping. You're not gonna do anything? Like, what was that for? I, too, listen to quite the peculiar ASMR. I am not ASMR. Just keep that in mind. Actually, there's a few streamers not personally, but know of. And their whole shtick is ASMR, and, yeah. I can understand why people appreciate it, but... I don't know. Just... does not seem like... Actually, there's a, one lady, and she was super sweet to make a server for VTubers. She's Erigo Moo. And her specific thing is ASMR now. Because she found that that's what most people liked about what she does. You prefer pre-recorded. Dano GSD. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, it's too hard. There we go. Another furry streamer of like the 100 furry streamers I follow. You know, it's funny you bring that up because I was chatting with somebody, and one of the things they brought up is whenever you're really, really in a pinch, there is always a subject matter expert at someone's disposal who is a furry. So there is the joke that there is the council, the council of furries, who is like, whenever you have a problem, you can consult the council of furries for your answer or the solution to your problem. You have a question about aircraft? There is a furry who flies an aircraft who is online all the time, who you can ask any question, and they are the sweetest person you've ever met. Most people estimate there is a few million furries. I'm gonna take a guess that anybody... Oh, actually, I shouldn't speak, though. Although most work in STEM. Yes, there is... No joke, there is one I follow who identifies as a ferret, or has a persona of a ferret, who specifically works in vaccine research, and they are my key source of information about mRNA technology. One of those few who plans to be a STEM furry. Well, you'll be the nuclear research part of the Council of Furries. In which case, good for you. Oh, it's too hard. I think so. I think that's their name. I really haven't heard many posts. I haven't really seen many posts from them recently, so I can't remember. Alright, hole 13. I think we might, I don't know, do we wrap it up early? So, yeah, I believe helped develop the COVID-19 vaccine. Yup. Aki Nyan is a tech furry I know of on the Mastodon side, or know of on the Mastodon side, and she brought up a good point. Oh, sorry, they. I think it's they. I'll have to double check. I'll just say they because that's a safe guess. They brought up a good point, and I agree with it. Furries run the internet. They really do. And I just think of that every time I have an internet connectivity issue. Because all I can think of now, and I can't get angry anymore, because all I think is something stupid like, "Ooh, woo, the op tables got co-opted on our cold router. Oh no." Oh, whoa, will we again? We have to call Cisco and get a firmware update for our cold router. Hello, Cisco, Uwu. Hello, TELUS, Uwu. You have new firmware for our cold router, Uwu. And I'm not mad anymore. In every nook and cranny of the internet, there's at least one furry whether you have it or not. My partition tables were blown up, oh. Like, and that's it, and I can't be mad anymore. Because that little cat girl's doing her best. Or, the developer of Inochi is a furry. A fox girl. And she's doing her best. I just can't be mad anymore. There's a lot of famous people who have come out as being a furry or paid for furry stuff. Who's the head of the like Little Nas X bought an entire fursuit? There is the guy who he was like one of the main members of the Insane Clown Posse. Found out that his daughter was a furry, and so just went and bought a fursuit in not consolidation, in as a means of support, approval and support for her daughter. I think so. Like, that's sweet. That's really sweet. Like, I'm no furry myself, but I can understand and appreciate it, I think. Actually, no, I can't fully understand it, but I can appreciate it's a thing. Wapow. Like I mean, after 6 years it kind of stops mattering. Like in my formative years, I was unnerved by it, but I don't think there was any animosity. After a while, it's just like, you know what? Just let them be a silly little guy. What does it do to me, really? Or blame other groups of people. The classic all furries are zoophiles argument. I've seen enough furries denounce zoophilia that I know what it's about. How is that out of bounds? That's okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. Oh, wrong way. Well, I've seen that in real time by osmosis. So I believe you when you say that. Oh, I did go the right way. Worked for them actually on a Roblox server as a moderator. Ah, jeez. Doesn't that make it awkward? Like when one of your own... Oh, that's not OB. Get bent. That makes it really awkward, doesn't it? Because then the questions come on you. And you're like, I don't know, man. I just fix shit on the server. But like, how did you not know? It's like, I don't know. I don't ask him what he does at home. They got outed and the group went into turmoil for a while before someone took over and completely shut it down. They were also a pedo. Ah, shit. That makes it even worse. And I have a particular lack of sympathy for folks like that. I won't go into details, but I'll tell you this. When I say I've been through a lot, I fucking mean it. Fair, and I appreciate it if you don't. Yeah, and I... Fair enough. Yeah, fair. No worries. And, went from 11:30 to 12 a.m. quick. No worries. Sorry to keep you up. We're almost finished anyway, so you're not missing much. I'm just dragging my ass through the last 2 holes of this, and then I think we got a packer in here too. So, you get yourself to sleep. Do healthy stuff for yourself. Well, I'm glad you like being here. Good night, sir, and sleep well. This is a weird-ass hole. Oh, no. No. Yeah, that's pretty good. Even though that was a bogey, oh my god, that was pretty good. Hot. Damn. No, 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 no. Ah, shit. Oh, that was close. That's too hard. Oh god, that's too hard. I'm gonna really fuck this one up. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get through it. There we go. That's the way to do it. Alright, last one. And we'll be right within our 4-hour window as well. Alright, moment of truth. Oh no. Okay. 15 yards away. This thing goes 70 yards. Okay, we're gonna get this on par. What? Guess not. We're gonna get this on double bogey. Okay, regular bogey. Does better than what I thought. Yay! Oh man. Alright. And that was 18 holes of hole-in-one golf. So I gotta make a note of this. Now let's see, is there anybody that I want to raid into right now? I don't think... Let's see, so there's Mass Effect. Someone's streaming Mass Effect. And someone's streaming Hunt Showdown. No, they're done today. That means... we have... Corpse Channel. And Corpse Channel, they're playing The Legend of Zelda. The Corpse Channel's kind of neat, because it's a person who uses... speech to text, but not text to speech. So they kind of are silent the whole time. Then we have Power Nelson, who's doing Mass Effect. You know what? There's nobody really at the same viewer count. And like I said before, it's kind of a no-no to stream to someone larger than you. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just pack her in. I'll be fine. Anywho, let's just switch on over. Well, I think we got an okay amount out of the way today. We got, well, let's check the list. So on the Game Boy side, we got PGA. We got the PGA, both PGA games. The PGA and PGA Europe, whatever the stupid additional, like, day and year and month and whatever the hell. And then we got, for the Game Boy Color, we got hole-in-one golf out of the way. Which is interesting, considering how I managed to crash it. Anywho. It's a good time. I'm quite happy with it. I don't really know where to go from here. So I think it's probably time to just pack her in and say what I always do, which is the following. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you to stay out of trouble. But all I ask is that if you do get in trouble, you make sure it's the good kind of trouble. And you all stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.